What you think about, you bring about. I know you've heard that before. I know you have. I know you know the power of your thoughts. But did you know that there's a way to power up or power down your manifestations? Did you know that without being aware of it, you might be giving more weight to the things that you don't want? That's what we're going to be talking about here today. So welcome, I am Kylie Ansett. I am the Alignment Whisperer and I guide seekers of alignment to get in touch with their inner brilliance. That part of you that shines bright, that has the answers, your inner intuition, that part of you that has all the wisdom. Get in touch with that and the world is your oyster. You can step forward believing in yourself, knowing that what you are doing is worthy and worthwhile. So I love to help my clients to step into that brilliance. So I am coming to you from beautiful Sydney, Australia, and do tell me whereabouts in the world you are. Are you in Australia or are you in the Northern Hemisphere maybe? I would love to know. And this is your daily dose of alignment. Now, I have to talk about this thing. I like to call it white matter medicine. And I just came up with that term while I was meditating. I like it, white matter medicine, because you know the gray matter and then there's the white matter. Well, as a coach, I work with the white matter. The white matter is the intentional aspects of our thoughts. The white matter is what we have thought about over and over and over again, so that it becomes a belief. So that is actually what the white matter is. If you could look at a belief, it would be the white matter of your brain. And we don't give it enough credence. We don't give it enough credibility. We don't give it enough attention and intention. So that's kind of what I want to play with today. So, okay, what you think about, you bring about. Now, if you've been in the world of, I just feel like I have to straighten this camera. If you've been in the world of law of attraction or anything like that for a hot second, you'll have heard of that saying. There we go. You'll have heard that saying, and you'll understand the power of your thoughts. You will understand just how I guess potentially, what am I thinking? You'll understand just how important it is to know exactly what you're thinking about and to have awareness around it and to not be just thinking about what you don't want, because for sure, whatever we think about, we do bring into this world. That is the way that it goes. So when it comes to your thoughts, there's this thing that you may not be aware of, and that is that the power of your thoughts. So something that you have an emotional charge around is a lot more powerful as far as manifestation goes than something that doesn't. So let me explain. And I love telling the airport stories because we all have them. We've all heard them. We've all experienced them. And the airport stories, for sure, are the ones that we have a lot of emotional charge around. So let me explain. So you go on a holiday. And the holiday is great. Like you're lying in the sun, you're swimming in the ocean, you're climbing the mountains, you're doing the bushwalks, you're doing all the fantastic things you do on holiday, you're eating the great food. You know, you're having just a fabulous time. But something happens at the airport, like there's a delay or you lose the passport or someone mislays the tickets or, you know, a bag gets stolen, whatever. Now, here's the thing. You get back from that holiday and what is it? Good. What is it that you're talking about, thinking about, and Sorry, I am distracted. I'm coming back. What is it that you tell everyone? They say, oh, how was the holiday? And you go, oh, it was good, but you won't believe what happened at the airport, blah, blah, blah. Like, I've got a fantastic story of that. I went to Tasmania, stayed with my beautiful friend Fiona, but it was actually, I was doing a transformational 3-day course. And with Robin Banks. So it was a mind power course. It was like we did so much deep work. We crafted our life mission. We kind of like delved in deep to our intentions and the way we wanted to live our life. It was incredible. But I had a really great airport story on the way home. Fiona took me to the airport and we sat in the car and chatted. We sat at the airport car park, chatting for about half an hour. And I kind of, waltzed into the airport to discover that I had completely stuffed up the times, which is quite common for me. In fact, coming back from Hawaii once, I got to the airport 24 hours early. I don't know. There is some dyslexia going on there. But anyway, this thing happened at the airport in Tasmania. I was going to miss my flight. There was minutes to go. There was hundreds of people in front of me in the queue. There was suitcases that had to be dumped at the airport, and it was incredibly intense. What do you think I was thinking about, talking about, and telling the story about when I got back? It was all about that experience, right? It was all about the airport experience. But I just spent 3 days doing this incredible mind power stuff with Robin Banks. So what's going on with that? Well, here's the thing. There was a really strong emotional charge to the airport experience. Oh yes, you better believe it. The emotional charge was insane. It was like, I was so stressed and I was sweating bullets, I can tell you. It was really full on. So that's the thing that was really strong in my mind. Now, when I spoke about white matter medicine, what I'm talking about is that when you have a thought, that's when the brain neurons connect, but when you have that thought repeatedly, you start to build a myelin sheath around your brain neurons. So we call that the white matter. Now, when you add to that a repeated thought, a really strong emotional charge, when you add that to it, oh my goodness, are you onto something? Now you've got like this like you build even more white matter around it, and it becomes bigger than Ben-Hur. It becomes huge, and it becomes powerful. And that's the emotional charge that we carry with us. It's why we think that thought over and over. It's why, for example, the airport stories are always more interesting than the stories about lying on the beach, which was fantastic. But there's not a lot of emotional charge there, unless there was a shark that sort of arrived. There's not a lot of emotional charge. So the thing is, if this is true, what I think about, I bring about, if that's true, if that's something that we're saying is the way the world works, then if all we're thinking about, because it's got such a strong emotional charge, is the shark attack, is the airport disaster, is the things like that, then of course we are putting out a vibration that's around those sort of things, around dramas and missteps and mishaps. And the lying on the beach and the beautiful food and the sunsets and all that, like, we're not spending a lot of time and energy thinking about them. So that's like the missing link. Like, if there's no emotional charge around it, you're not going to be thinking about it a lot, and you're not going to be myelinating it, which is the white matter. You're not going to be doing your white matter magic around it. So here's the thing. It's not just what you think about, you bring about. It's what you do with the white matter magic. How can you bring something about because you put an emotional charge to it? How can you create magic around the thing that you want by putting an emotional charge to it. Now, an emotional charge looks like strong emotion. Yeah, obviously. You can enhance it even more with physical movement, like hand gestures or physically doing something with your body. You can enhance it with verbal, like specific verbal things that you say. You can enhance it by inducing an emotion to go with it. So here's the thing. Let's say there's something you very strongly want, and to bring some white matter medicine to it, what you would do is you would create a strong feeling that you could be inspired with, and you could bring up, like in an instant. You would create a physical movement. You would have a verbal thing. You would bring them all together. Now, if any of you have ever been to any kind of like a Tony Robbins event, or fire walking or anything like that, you know this is exactly what's going on there. They bring together all of this stuff. There's a lot of emotional charge, and that, because of that, it creates it's white matter magic. They're bringing together all of these things, and you'll never forget that. You'll never forget it. And whenever you think about it, you bring it to mind, the whole emotional journey comes to mind. So just like the airport story, except that's not something we want to manifest. Like, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to bring about that. And yet that's what we do. So now the idea is to think about, with an emotional charge, bring some white matter medicine to the things that you want to bring about. And if you're just like, oh yeah, that'd be nice, or I really want it, but, and then the thing that you think about on the other end of that but is way stronger. Let's talk about money. Okay, so I want this amount of money, but I've only got that amount of money. The emotional charge around the amount I only have, which is like less, is much stronger. The emotional charge around the lack is way stronger. So you've got the energy and the attention and the power, and the white matter medicine is all around the half of that equation that you don't want. So you need to be intentional. And when I work one-on-one with clients, this is the kind of stuff we play with. Like, what is the intention, and how can we bring white matter medicine to it? How can we bring this very powerful, intentional charge to the thing we want? And how can we deactivate the charge around the things that we don't want? Sounds fun, doesn't it? It is fun. It actually truly is fun. So I encourage you to go forth and play around with this. Have a go with the white matter medicine. Have a go with it. See what you can bring it to. See if there's anywhere that you can recognize where you're using it in the wrong way. You're bringing a charge, and you're bringing that medicine, that powerful white matter medicine, to the things you don't want, and stop doing it. But just have some awareness around it. That's where it all starts. It all starts with awareness. So thank you so much for playing with me in the Alignment Sandbox. It has been an absolute pleasure, and I want you to know and remember and truly believe that the power is within you. Bye-bye.